Hello ladies and gentlemen, my name is GameChanger 20 and I'm finally going to be bringing you the beta test notes that I made. I tried making a live stream for it, but NHL broke on me, had an error code, so I had to try and fix that, and I lost the live stream, all the progress I made on there, so I decided just to go ahead and make a video this time around, that way then I wouldn't have to worry about it. So before we get into it, if you guys have any questions, please remember to leave them in the comment section down below. I will try my best to answer them, and let's go ahead and get into it. So whenever I first got into the beta, I thought it was going to be a really great experience for me, and it wasn't too bad, but I'll explain later on why I didn't have as much fun later on. But I really like the cool favorite team choosing design. You get into the game, it asks you what your favorite team is. I like the design for that was really good. I'm someone that really pays attention to detail, and it seemed like they put a lot of detail into their UI and menu screens. There is a lighter background for World of Chell now, and I really like that. The lime green highlighter looks good as well. I think the lighter background and the lime green highlight really mix in well together. What I noticed, character customization was faster. You don't have to wait for your character to load in all the attributes before you can move on to the next thing. So I thought that was nice. It just makes it a lot more smoother and flow a lot more faster. We have more goal celebrations and more intro animations for the skaters. If you're into that sort of stuff to make your character more personalized, this will be good for you. I'm not really into it, but yeah. Then they added 1T shot styles and a skating attribute system. And what I mean by that for the skating style attribute system, you can change his spine angle, spine curves, stride gait, stride distance, stride height, upper body twist, hustle style, hustle arm swing motion, hustle arm snap, one-handed arm swing, one-handed stick swing, one-handed stick height, two-handed stick swing, two-handed stick angle, two-handed stick sweep. And that's all to personalize your own skating style. And I thought that was really neat. Whenever I looked at that for the first time, I was a little bit taken back, because I didn't think there was going to be that much customization to your skate style. I thought you were just going to choose one of the two styles that they have and bam, you're good. But that wasn't the case. And then once you get into World of Chell, you notice the new rank system overtakes CR. And I really hope this will help with the toxicity in the NHL series right now. You got people that will literally cheat their way to a higher CR, and I think that's kind of not fair to everyone else who tries and plays fair. It's a glitch where if you at the very end of a match you don't like the way the game is going, you can CR glitch. I'm not going to tell you exactly how to do it because I'm tired of it and I want it to be eradicated from the game. So hopefully this new rank system will overtake that, while also giving people a reason to play the game right, because from what I understand it goes by your performance. Those grades that you get, it's gonna be like the old days of NHL when you get graded, and that's how they improved like the amateur to pro to legend. I forgot exactly how that went, but it's supposed to be like that from what I understand. And then the stats reset each season for club. So at the beginning of the game life cycle, you got those 2 or 3 clubs that the no life, but they play games like all day every night. They play like 12 games, and they win 8 of them, and they're at the top of the leaderboard the entire season. Well, that shouldn't be the case this year, because each season the stats are going to reset, and you're going to see who can be the next best club in that lifespan. At the end of those every few weeks, club finals will happen, and what that is like it takes the playoffs that is in EASHL right now, and you take those playoffs and you're going to make it into like one big bracket, and you try and cut down everyone. So there's only going to be one club finalist from what I understand. So that's going to be interesting to see how that plays out. I don't think they'll have it in the beta just yet, so we'll have to wait until the main game to find that out. And then you have to wait until level 5 until you unlock your player ranks. And I thought this was interesting because wouldn't you want to get your rank as soon as possible? And I thought there was either one or two reasons why EA did this. And it could be because reason 1, which I find unlikely, that they want to try and stop second accounts. And reason 2, it gives newer players a chance to get into the game. Because the game is a lot more different, especially for goalies. It seems that might be more of the case than my first reasoning. They changed up goalie controls, and I will get into that in a later segment. I didn't notice any new intro animations for goalie, and that's sad for me. I like the edit loadout UI, so like whenever you get into editing your character and his loadout, I really like the colors that go around with that. I think it was a nice blend. Trait icons look a lot more better. It's not just, you know, the stick with 1 and 2 or the block with 1 and 2. So I think it looks really good. I think they definitely improved the graphic design of the game, and I know that's not what a lot of you people are looking for, but their graphics design team, gotta give them a round of applause. That's really good on them. They did a great job this year. No new goalie specialties. In fact, penalty kill specialist is gone. And I know a lot of you guys out there really love penalty kill specialist as a goalie, so this will be a bit of a take back. But it's okay, we'll live. Skater, they got no new traits as well. And they also lost Marathon Mon. So that's going to be interesting to see. You can't skate around the entire game without having to take a break. Another problem I had with the trait system is sometimes it can be confusing to understand. So say you get like laser passing and it affects your shot accuracy and shot strength, right? So then you go to laser passing 2 and it affects your body checking and stick checking. So, like, it was all over the place. I couldn't really understand what exactly it was taking away and what it was adding. So, hopefully they'll, like, put the little attributes at the top to make it easier to understand. There's a new, or an easier World of Shell interface system. You can get to modes faster. And, you know, it's a welcome change for me. I hated having to go to like 5 different menus just to get to the lobby, you know? So now you only have to do like 2 or 3 menus. So the room design is the same as NHL 20 except for the lighter background and lime color. This was a change I thought was interesting. They switched the start matchmaking button from start to X on the controller or start to A on Xbox, I believe. And I was kind of curious as to why they did that. I'm not exactly sure, but it probably has something to do with the way the controllers on the next gen are going to look like, so I thought that was interesting. Okay, now it's time to get into the gameplay aspect. Goalie feels very smooth. It feels very smooth. I liked it whenever I first played it. The incorporation of stances for when you're next to the post and butterfly was a little bit weird. If you ever looked at a goalie that was on the post and the butterfly, if you played the beta of course, like his glove is all the way to his right shoulder, like he's focused on that one side alone. And I thought that was really weird looking. And I'm gonna get into why I don't like this later on. There's still some bad AI animation choices for the goalies. You know, you'll be in perfect position and it's going like barely, like the puck is barely off the ice and it's heading for your left pad. Well, sometimes your goalie will, like, you know, lift up his left pad and poof, right there. And that still happens. Another thing I noticed, they added in a bunch of animations for when in butterfly. So up close, you should be getting more pucks, right? Well, I'm gonna explain later on why that isn't the case. Anyways, getting into the game, loading the game is very slow. It takes a long time. I don't know if it's because of the TTS, but I just wanted to put that in there. There was a couple of errors in me trying to load into 6v6 and 3v3 ESHL games. It took me 4 hours to play a game, an actual game. Oh yeah, the free skate, it's nice. There's a free skate for goalie and free skate for skater. All you gotta do is go to your edit loadout and press either square or triangle. One of those two buttons. One of those two buttons. Whenever I did get into the game, my goalie default controls turned back randomly, and I gave up the first 3 shots for goals. And, let's see, I noticed a couple of things on those. There was still those random perfect bounces for the AI. Like, the AI seemed to be ahead of me whenever it came to those lucky bounces. There was long animations on blocked shots. You know, your goalie will go for the glove save, and it'll be blocked in front of him, and he'll still spend another second, like, you know, winding up his windmill glove save. And that caused me 2 goals right there alone, from what I remember. Now for the commentary, there was a few new commentary lines that I noticed. I had a pass in that game that went through 2 AI defenders, and a weird audio cut in game where the commentators and the music and the, like, you know, the arena music, it just all cut off at random times, and I thought that was weird. The weird animation getting to the post causes goal, and that's whenever I was attempting to hug the post. And I believe that in making the animations that EA did to lean towards the post while you're in butterfly is starting to mess up the actual butterfly to hug the post. And I don't know how I feel about that. Feels like a dice roll and as a goalie if the animation will be quick and clean or slow and long. And you know, you get those quick and clean saves, boom boom, you're making them. You get those slow and long saves, on the other hand, it usually results in a goal. Goalie gets stuck in an animation which causes the game to be a loss 8-7 in threes, and the shots were only 24-18. That's whenever I realized, ooh, goalie's gonna suck. And not in the way that the goalie feels nice, but I'm gonna get into why goalie isn't good later on. Gameplay feels about the right speed for, like, you know, skaters. There was a game that I had right after that where it was 1-0 and the other goalie left after 1 cross crease. And I was wondering why quit in the TTS. And then cross crease is still the way to score, and I will get into that later whenever I talk about my online versus experience. As a goalie, you're still left to cook on breakaways. They gave you the spread V where you could push down on the right stick instead of having to go square and down on the left stick, which that's still in the game for some reason. They still have that. Controls for goalie are puck relative for some reason. So, if you want to go down into that spread VH, you have to push down and away from the puck. I don't know how I feel about that. It's a huge scoring fest. I put down that the AI is a tad bit smarter than last year, but AID still can't get in front of the cross creases. I put this down because not only am I getting upset about what's happening to me, I'm getting upset about what's happening to the other goalie. My center shot it through the other goalie's blocker. What I mean by this is the goalie was in perfect position. In fact, he was way out of his crease because, you know, we're running out of time. And my center just wrists it, and somehow it goes off my goalie's blocker and into the net, or off their goalie's blocker and into the net, like it was a hard shot, and it just deflects off of his blocker, off of him, and straight into the net like it was a hard shot. But it wasn't a hard shot. It was just a wrister from the point. So they need to fix that. I can tell the game is geared towards high scoring and exciting games just from playing a couple games. I haven't played that many, in fact, but I can already tell because, every single game I've gotten into so far, it's been 6+ per team. That's in 3, 6s, and online versus. Let's see, that 3s game, in the first it was 5-4, second 7-9, and the shots were 21-23. So again, another high-scoring game. My save average at this point is 600. If the goalie starts turning, it's difficult to get back into motion. What I mean is, the puck goes from in front of you to the side a little bit. While your goalie's turning, you're a little bit vulnerable to an animation that can happen at that point. I read a breakaway perfectly, but couldn't get it because of the post. Now, whenever EA implemented the new post animations while you're near it, I believe they might have messed up getting to the post, and I think this is stupid. In real life, a goalie has to hug those posts to cut off angles from which the opponent can score on that red line where the net is. And if EA's making it to the point where you can get as close to the post as possible, but they don't want you to hug it, then I don't understand what the point of even having the hug the post option is. Because if you listen to Between the Pipes, John LOL, I'm not calling them out or anything, but, he said that he doesn't even hug the post unless it's to make sure he doesn't go past it. And I think this is dumb. This isn't a traditional style of goalie. This year, goalie is styled towards the goalie where you stand up and only go down for butterfly whenever the puck is either behind the net or so close inside that if you don't go down in the butterfly, it's going to go right through your 5-hole. That's the only time you go down in the butterfly. You never hug the post, you always stand up for everything else. And I don't think that's a good style of goalie. Like, I want it to be somewhat realistic. And whenever I tried playing a realistic style, I ended up getting burned more than not. There are too many breakaways on copy D-Man. They just weren't understandful of the fact that a breakaway was about to happen and they needed to get back, even on a defensive coaching style, or coaching adjustment. I don't know exactly what those are called. And then I put down at the bottom, is it even worth being in net? And I was starting to feel that way, just because of how difficult it was to make saves. So then my copy demon celebrated when the other team scored, and I thought this was pretty funny. I was kind of angry that they scored, but seeing my own copy demon celebrate with them was hilarious. I mean, it even showed up in the cutscene. It's frustrating to try and play in that. Goalie is geared more for a stand-up gameplay experience, which is boring and not true hockey. CPU is sniping the other goalie, and one thing I noticed, the CPU, if you can set them up to shoot the puck or to one-time that puck, it's always going to be a goal. More than not, like 9 out of 10 times, that CPU is going to snipe that user goalie, or it's going to snipe that CPU goalie. My 6'3" enforcer teammate got injured too easily by a sniper build. Now, if it was like another enforcer, I would understand, but he got wrecked by a sniper who barely touched him. Like, I wish I could show you the gameplay, because like the sniper pretty much skated into him while the enforcer was like well aware. He didn't even hip check him or anything. He just ran into him and boom, he was injured. Skate marks on the ice are terrible looking. That's the only thing I didn't like about the design. Like, it seems to stand out a little bit, and it looks kind of disgusting. Online versus team setup looks clean, and what I mean by that is the way they got the online versus setup screen where you choose your team and stuff. I thought that looked really nice. Another win for the graphics design team. And I put down, this is once I got into the game, cross crease. Went through my stick while I was in perfect position on defense. And once we get to the very end, I'm going to give a summary of what I think of the beta. And I'm going to incorporate all of this into it. I scored a goal I shouldn't have, and what I mean is I skated into the goalie and just accidentally got a free 5-hole. Another cross crease, lucky bounce, pinball, and quotation marks next to that. You could tell I was starting to get upset because, one, I can't even read my handwriting, and two, it looks like I broke my pencil multiple times on this. Another pass through my stick. I put only cross creases. There was a tip against me 3 feet wide of the net, and those are kind of hard to deal with, so I just put that down. The AI was being dumb once again. And then I put down skater is very fluid on offense. So what I mean is, on offense, you can easily get around people if you play it correctly. Another cross crease, and then I ended it with game is catered to offense. Whew. So it took me 21 minutes and 30 seconds to get through all of my notes that I have written down for NHL 21 TTS servers. So now in summary, I'm going to tell you what I think about the beta and what I think EA could do to improve on it. Okay, so here's the overall gist of the beta so far. It is an offense-based 80s style scoring hockey experience. And what I mean by that, you know, in the 80s, there was like 6 goals pretty much every single game. Like, really bad defense at times. And that's what this game feels like. It feels like it's trying to re-experience the 80s style of hockey. And I don't know how I feel about that. And on the offensive side, it's really easy to snipe. You can pretty much be from anywhere on the ice and shoot on a both a user and a copy goalie. This will be the year you could probably get 1,000 goals in 100 games if you play it right. On defense, it's really hard to pick up anything. I've had way too many pucks go past me on defense already. It's not even funny. As a goalie, you're kind of left at the mercy of if the offense is going to do simple plays where they stop, they shoot on you, and then they continue doing that and not do any passing. But if they start passing whatsoever, and your defense, who is already limited by the fact they can't pick up a bunch of stuff, if they start passing a lot, you're just out to cook. There's nothing you can really do. You can try and use the new right stick save animations they have, but from what I've noticed, it takes a second to wind up because they're making it a little bit more realistic in the way you're in butterfly and you gotta slide across by placing your skate down first and moving that way. So just overall, beta is highly offensive. Defense and goalie are kind of at the wayside of EA's thought, and one way they can fix this is by decreasing the offense's ability to easily skate around players. And I'm not talking like take down the offense in any way. I think offense production is really good. It's exactly what we need in a hockey game. But what I believe the game should do is increase puck pickup for defense. You know, because if you can solve that problem, if you can allow the defense to pick up more pucks, then in the overall gist of the game, it should allow for a lot less cross creases. And another thing that they can do is increase the ability for the goalie and allow the goalie to make a lot more smarter plays with their blocker and glove side. I noticed that they keep on trying to elongate on shots that are coming in quickly, and do a short animation on shots that are coming from the point. And what it effectively does is make the rebound chance higher against you, and makes it a lot more likely that a puck will accidentally bounce in, or that you just miss the puck completely from the animation. And if they can fix that and make it more viable to be on the post once again as a goalie, this game has the potential to be great, because the gameplay is already smooth. They just need to fix the problems that are within the gameplay itself. Like, it's pretty much like tuning issues, if I had to guess. But just these minor issues enough are alone to cause a stale game. Because right now, players know the only way to really score is from cross creases, and it's really easy to score because as a defender, you really can't cut off those passes reliably. I mean, I've had a couple of times where like my defenders will be right in the passing lanes, and just the puck will go right through them. And I believe if they can fix that, the game will be in a lot better place by release. When it comes to those Michigan and the one-touch dekes to yourself, the Michigan, no one's tried it on me so far, and I don't think it's going to be a big deal. It looked game-breaking to me, and I was kind of expecting it from the way EA easily pushes out those dekes, you know. But no, I actually haven't seen anybody try and pull it off on me yet, and I was quite surprised. People are going around the net though, because they know that the post hug is kind of a lot less viable for the goalie. They'll go around the post, force you to come off to play that far side, and they'll just shoot it short side on you over and over and over again. Your goalie, for some reason, won't react on those short side shots unless he's close enough to the post. So that's an issue that can be solved pretty easily if they just put it into the game. Allow the defense to pick up more stuff. Allow goalies to be a lot more realistic and play the game like they're supposed to, and somehow find a way to increase a lot more different plays other than cross creases, because like I said, cross crease is really the only way to score. That and tips. But well, that was my 2 cents on the game. I started getting tongue twisted a little bit there towards the end. This is the first time I've talked for more than like 30 minutes. There's like an extra 20 minutes in there that I had to remove because it was just me rambling on about the same thing. If you guys have any questions, or if you have any thoughts, please leave them in the comments down below. And catch you guys in the next one. See ya.